Hello everyone, and welcome back to Trains of World 5, where we are continuing our first look series on Skyhook's Cargo Line Vol.4 military gameplay pack. Last video, we took a look at the gameplay that you can have on Just Trains' West Coast Mainline Preston to Carlisle route, which is probably the best British route in this game. Now we're heading to one of the worst British routes in the game. The first British route ever made, which has aged extremely poorly. Great Western Express. So, in terms of scenarios, you get 3. Warminster to Shoeburyness, Shoeburyness to Marchwood, and Bicester to Shoeburyness. And then for timetable services, bear in mind, the services are not under the normal Class 66 DB. They're under the Class 66 DBC marked Cargo Line Military. So you get 6 services, and today we are playing 6 Alpha for 8 from Reading to Acton Mainline. Let's get started. So right, here we are in Reading in the DB Class 66, which is actually number 002. I should probably extend the depth of field. So yeah, last video, we had the armored personnel carriers on the back. This time, we've got the we've got the trucks, the transport trucks. So yeah, they look pretty good. Skyhook weather them pretty nicely. Like, yeah. And then, yeah, look. Oh, hello. We have a Class 166 over here. I actually saw a Class 165 just today. So, it's like seeing an old friend. So, yeah, let's get started. Right, so, reverser in and forward. High speed switch and fresh air switch on. I don't want to choke on diesel fumes. Let's open the windows. Nice. Let's put the direct brake on and release automatic brake. Why are the instrument lights not working properly? Oh, dimmer. Okay. Didn't seem to do anything. Alright. Headlights 2 day running. Nice. Normally the DB 66 off of WCML South has really blinding headlights, so I'm glad to see that Skyhook fixed that. So yeah, let's go to this cabinet. DSD on. AWS and TPWS online. It's been a bit of time since I last drove the Class 66. Since... oh, the rear wagons are actually not loaded. Okay. Been a bit of time since I drove the 66, since it's so ubiquitous that I got insanely bored of it. Reading is abnormally quiet. In real life, there would be Southwestern Rail services. There would be Southwestern Rail services. There would be cross-country services, GWR, Elizabeth Line. I know this is set in 2015, before the Elizabeth Line, while the Elizabeth Line was still under construction, but come on. Like, we really need the GWE remaster. This is intolerable. Oh my goodness. Though, Reading, like, good thing I do have to say about Great Western Express is the station modeling. Like, Reading is pretty much spot on, from what I remember. Go via location, Maidenhead Platform 4, where I think I've actually been in real life. Release the direct brake. Alright, it seems that we have a 30 speed limit coming out of here. So yeah, this service is up to Acton Mainline, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got to go via Maidenhead, West Drayton, and then stop at Acton Yard. Another thing I have to complain about GWE is the distant scenery is atrocious, like, even from the driver's cab. Come on, buddy. Let's get out of here. I'm pretty sure the DB66 has dynamic suspension, which is not too obvious until higher speed, so just have to wait and see. Alright. And speed limit of 60 should kick in a minute. Yeah, like just look at that scenery. My goodness. This route was allegedly upgraded to TSW5 standards. Highly unlikely. There's the distant scenery just screams that this route was not properly upgraded. Yeah, so the reason you can see electricity pylons is because in 2015 this route was getting electrified, so that's what those pylons are for. Also, come on. Oh, I think I over-revved the engine. Gotta wait for the engine to recover. Yeah, it's crazy to think 2015 was 10 years ago. That's a bit nuts. This route is almost a decade. This route was released in early 2018. That was almost a decade ago. In 2015, that was like... 2015 was the year the Story of Forest Rail released, which was the first Japanese route for Train Sim Classic. Now, 10 years later, we're getting a Japanese route for Train Sim... Well, sorry, I went off on a bit of a tangent there. Yeah, we've got full safety systems. The 66s are getting on for a bit, aren't they? They're from the, what, mid-90s at this point? Yeah. Dynamic suspension doing its thing. Does this thing... Oh, it's so very slight, but yeah, this thing is using dynamic suspension. As a 166. It is the Paddington to Oxford. I think in the modern day they're actually electrifying the line up to Oxford, if I'm not mistaken. 59 miles an hour. Let's get back up to speed. One thing I hope gets done is that Skyhook Games updates the Midland Main Line to accept cargo, so we can run Cargo Line Volume 4 services on that. That'd be awesome. Like, that'd be so cool. I like the 66. I just think... A, it's a bit soulless. B, it's just a bit... It's lacking in charm. C, it's just too well used, which then Dovetail then used as an excuse to then recycle it over and 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 over again. Like, it first made... The 66 actually incidentally made its first debut on this route. GWE says, introduced our Great Western Express, that it was also included with East Coastway for some reason, despite East Coastway not being exactly a freight-heavy route. Then it was included with Southeastern High Speed. That was the time it got the Armstrong Powerhouse sounds and upgraded textures. Which, by the way, those updates have still... Those like sound updates and texture updates have still not applied to the GWE and East Coastway versions. Then it was bundled with the Railhead Treatment Train add-on. Then it was bundled with Peterborough to Doncaster in like a weathered EWS livery. Then in when was it? Then it's been bundled with all the cargo lines 1 through 4, and then it's also been bundled with West Coast Mainline South as well. The use of Milton Keynes. There's the branch up to Henley-on-Thames. As part of the Great Western Express remaster, we need the Thames Valley branch lines. Greenford, Windsor, Marlow, Henley. Like, come on, devs. Like, the fact that the Thames Valley branch lines weren't originally included with this route is criminal. Absolutely criminal. .3 miles to Maidenhead. Yeah, see, and also, I don't really like Great Western Express as a choice of route in the first place. Because, A, they should have said it in the modern day. I know this is in 2018, 4 years before the Elizabeth line ever opened, but they should have waited until the Elizabeth line opened and then set this route in the modern day. Then, yeah, like, there's so many things about this route where, like, I know a lot of things about Dovetail. Like, a lot of routes, Dovetail routes, have, like, missed opportunities. Like, for example, the remastered West Somerset Railway could have easily been extended up to Taunton, so we could run the full Taunton shuttle from Bishop's Lydyard to Taunton, but instead we have to terminate it at Norton Fitzwarren because I don't know. And like, this route is really the definition of missed opportunities, really. But hopefully the remaster should fix a ton of the issues that I've previously mentioned, and also the addition of extra services on the GWE is welcome, since the timetable is not exactly busy. In fact, it's like almost empty. If I was traveling on this line in real life out of Reading, I'd have seen at least 2, possibly 3 trains by now. But I've seen nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah. I definitely got Cargo Line Vol.4 military, specifically I got it for Preston to Carlisle, really. But I do welcome the addition of extra services on GWE, even if I hardly ever play GWE. So this is Bister to Shoeburyness, right? Passing north of White Waltham Airfield. Wait a minute. Is there a plane there? No. It appears to not even exist in TSW. What? Driven 66 miles in the class 66. Yeah. Oh my goodness, the scenery is absolutely atrocious. Holy moly. Okay. 2 miles to Maidenhead. Passing under the A404 motorway, which for some reason has absolutely no traffic on it, unlike real life. Ugh. I could just shit talk this route forever, man. Like, which is why we need to remaster like so much, because like this route is just like so old that it just needs the addition. It just needs the remaster so badly, and it's been nearly a year since the remaster is even announced. I know it's just one guy working on it, but previous remasters have taken a significantly less amount of time than this has. There is the Marla branch line coming in from the left. In real life, this whole like car park area has actually been turned into a yard for the Class 345 Adventurers. But yeah, the station modeling is pretty much spot on. Go via West Drayton in 11 miles. And we've actually got a specific, very special bridge coming up. Here we go. We'll see what I mean in a minute. And stop right there. We won't get too much of the... we can get some of the river in the frame, I think. If we just line it up nicely. Yeah. Taking photos in this game is always a pretty finicky process for me. I like getting it exactly right from the first. Let's adjust the depth of field. There we go. Let's... Yeah, and there's the issue that... that I talked about in my previous video, the motion blur in the photo mode doesn't affect the loco, it doesn't affect the Warwell wagons. It just affects the vehicles on said wagons and the straps holding them down, and I don't know why. Hopefully Skyhook fixes that issue. I know it's a very minor issue, but it's actually the only one I've come across in this entire pack. There you go. Let's have a bit more noise, shall we? I think one of the other reasons why I might prefer running Cargo Line Volume 4 services on this route rather than Preston to Carlisle is while Preston to Carlisle has more services, they all take about 2 hours to complete because they're a full run from Kingmore to Preston and vice versa. On this route, it's just a run from Reading to Acton Mainline, which is a lot shorter and only takes about half an hour versus the 2 hours. Oh, we appear to be under the overhead wires. Let's do like a proper fly past shot, why don't we? Get rid of the HUD, of course. Oh yeah. 8 miles to West Drayton, and then after that it's direct. So where's Acton again? Is it here? That's Southall. No. That's West Ealing. That's Hanwell. Is this it? Ealing? No, that's Ealing Broadway. Oh, so it's this yard here, right. How much further have I got? Okay, I've covered about half the distance. I'll take it. Oh, another 166. Absolutely leaping down the line toward wherever he's going, which is Bedwyn. Judging by the spelling, I would assume that's in Wales. The English people would spell it B-E-D-W-I or B-E-D-W-I-N, yes. While Welsh people spell that with a Y, like that train was. Like, I might actually have to look that up. I wonder, where is Bedwyn specifically? Must admit, it's very easy running on this line. No steep grades. Just cruising along. Oh, look at that dynamic suspension do its work. You'll love to see it. For some reason, the instrument lights don't seem to be working. Instrument lights are on. They're at full dimmer, and yet they don't seem to be working. That might be a bug with this, or it might be a bug with the DB66. I'm not sure, since I don't drive the DB66 often enough. Where are we about to pass through? We are about to pass through Slough, which is probably which is like the main station in between Reading and Paddington, and with Maidenhead coming a close second. Dynamic suspension doing its job nicely. they Dovetail need to stop recycling the 66 so much. We need a... Oh, hello, there's another 66. Hello, mate. Oh, it's another military service. That is a lucky catch, because there are only 6 military services in the entire timetable for the military services. Oh, there is another 166 heading to Worcester Foregate Street. Ah, nope. Where is that 66 going? He was going to Marchwood. 6 Mike 45. 5 miles to West Drayton. I think this is the first time in Trains of World history we've been able to do services for the Ministry of Defense, which, like, come on, that's pretty cool. I have done other things for the Ministry of Defense. I've flown the Royal Air Force F4 Phantom a couple of times in DCS World, and I've also flown the Avra Vulcan a couple of times in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so 2020, of course. So this is not my first time working for the ministry, working for the British government as far as the Ministry of Defence is concerned. Quite a lot of wagons on this thing. Three miles to West Drayton. Going through Langley. Nowadays, I think all of the stops, apart from Paddington and Reading and Slough, are actually operated by Transport for London for the Elizabeth line, and GWR doesn't really stop at those stations anymore, except for Paddington, Slough, Maidenhead, Reading, if I remember correctly. Passing the Langley Quarry on our right, which doesn't seem to exist in TSW for some reason. Coming up to Ivor. Just under 2 miles to West Drayton. Get behind the yellow line! For crying out loud. Why did the NPCs still do that? Why did they stand behind the yellow line? Oh! Heading under the M25. Which only has traffic that spawns in at the absolute last second. West Drayton in 1 mile. Oh, and there appears to be another train coming by. It's another 166. Wonder where he's going. He is going to Reading. Nowadays, that service would 100% be operated by a Class 345. And it wouldn't be coming from Paddington, it would be coming from Abbey Wood. We're straight in 900 yards. And 8 miles to Acton. Why did AWS go off? That's the next signal's green. That's odd. Another AWS. Okay, we do have a single yellow coming up. I think, maybe? Coming up to Hazen Harlington. A minute. Is that Hazen? No, that's Southall. Where's Hazen Harlington? There it is. The Paddington to Oxford is just pulling in. Oh, there's the line from Heathrow. One thing the remaster will include. Oh, we're clear up to 90. For some reason. One thing about what the remaster will include is it will actually have unbranded Class 387 trains representing the Heathrow Express, which we'll be able to finally run that, and we'll also be able to run the London Underground services with the D stock as well. Which, bear in mind, that will include that will mean you will have to have the Brighton Main Line and Island Line 2022 respectively in order to get those trains. But hey, it is what it is. I'm just glad to. I have both of them anyway, so hey. 6.5 miles to run to Acton, giving 66 full beans. Yeah. It appears we will not be getting the Heathrow branch because one of the roadmap articles said the Heathrow Express services will terminate at Hazen Harlington, but at least it's better than nothing. At least we get to actually play them and actually see them. Oh dear. 6 miles to run. Is there a train ahead of us, I wonder? No! No trains in front of us all the way. That's 76 miles an hour. We have technically exceeded the 6 top speed. I have known the 66 to top out at about 79. Oh, there's some aggregates hopper wagons off of Southeastern High Speed. I think those wagons were originally introduced with East Coastway, but I don't have East Coastway, so hey. Southall. Absolutely booking it. What's funny is I think I'm exceeding those trucks' top speed, because I think like military lorries are like have a top speed of around 60 miles an hour under the best of conditions, and I'm taking them at 80 miles an hour. Oh, that's funny. We have officially reached the Class 66's top speed. Feels pretty good. 3.5 miles to run to Acton. Passing over the One Cliff Viaduct. There's supposed to be a river down there. It's just a road. Odd. Three miles to run. I'm literally exceeding legal tolerances for the 66. But the game let me, so hey, I might as well. Passing through West Ealing. Two miles to go. This thing has pretty powerful brakes. I won't probably have any trouble stopping. Oh boy. Here's Ealing Broadway with its static 1972 tube stock off at the Baker Loop. Oh my goodness. Hey, speed up, man. Come on, don't stop. Don't stop. I think I put the brakes on too hard. Come on. Okay. That was far too close. So yeah, this is where you'll be able to start the D-stock run, and then you'll be able to run it all the way to Paddington. My goodness, I slowed down far too quickly. 1 mile to Acton Yard. Thank goodness I don't have to get there in a hurry. I think I'll just speed up to 30 miles an hour. Doesn't make sense trying accelerating and then slowing down. We have a double yellow. Yeah, look, you can see that the tracks here are electrified, but they're on 3rd and 4th rail, and they do not have anyone running on them. Those wagons make a nice noise. They do sound pretty good. Hopefully there aren't any manual points. No, there are not. Good. "30 miles an hour actually seems a bit fast to come into this yard, but hey, I'll take it." There's some of the aggregates wagons that you get with this route. There's another 166. Wonder where he's going. He is going to Reading again. There's another 66 over there. Looks like it's an EWS livery. Yeah, it's an EWS 66. That's what I thought. I'm good to overshoot. Oh no, no, not by too much. Only 10 yards. Okay. Okay, platinum medal. I'll take it. So yeah, that will be all for this video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and comment what you think about the new Cargo Line Volume 4. Put your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, and thank you so much for watching.